Hi everyone, comic book reviewer here. This time reviewing on Rugrats in Paris, the movie film review. Now, as you know, Rugrats in Paris, the movie, is meant to be a 2000 animated comedy film that is meant to be more of a carry-on from Rugrats the movie and meant to take place before season 7. And keep in mind that that the Rugrats three-parter episode, Acorn Nuts and Derby Butts, was meant to be more like a prequel to the episode, which explains like how Stu got the giant reptile working, how Lou ended up falling in love again, how Betty tried to get Chaz to date some of her friends, and so on. So the premise of the movie is meant to feature the Rugrats gang going to Paris after Stu's reptar model ended up going haywire due to using paper clips and rubber bands. And of course, we see how the Rugrats go to a new location, mostly Paris. Now, I think my personal gripe about the film, we don't really see them explore Paris properly. We see them mostly at a Japanese theme park known as Reptar, which is meant to be their version of Disneyland. And even Chaz kind of points this out, how it's a bit strange. And Stu, who is kind of like the director's saying, just go with the flow, this is what we're going to give you. And we kind of see how the director of Reptile Land, Coco, is quick to use Chaz just so she can get him to marry her to get a promotion from the head of the Reptile Corporation. And it kind of becomes clear that she doesn't care about anyone but herself. And you can actually tell that her other assistant, Kira, starts to see this and does kind of question what she's doing is for the if it's right and wrong. And we're also introduced to Kira's daughter, Kimmy. Now, Kimmy's character, I would say, feels a bit underdeveloped. She's just quickly thrown in to be the sixth Rugrat, and basically feels like a counterpart to Tommy, which Chucky says, great, another Tommy, as it's like the writers and the fans saying this as well. And for the most part, I would say the film really does know how to hit the emotional levels, like when Chaz goes through all his belongings, looking at the pictures of him and his wife, his first wife. You can really tell they really do put in a lot of emotion in. And also when Chucky looks at the plane, seeing like the clouds of him and his possible mum, and seeing Dill being tucked by Dee, they really do know how to make that an emotional level. And it makes you feel sorry for Chucky and Chaz. And I think at the same time, the movie really knows how to take things serious, like Dee Dee being a little more cautious with Chaz rushing things in his relationship. And you can kind of tell Dee Dee knows that this is going to come with repercussions. And I would say what I like about the opening is how they parody The Godfather. And I like how Drew and Charlotte talk about how Angelica saw the movie last night. And it's like us when we were kids, seeing South Park or seeing, like, The Terminator or Aliens. And I think we've all been there when we've watched a sort of adult show or movie that we later would copy years later, or so on. And I would say, surprisingly, there were a lot of promotional material for Rugrats in Paris. Like, there was the game for the N64 and the PlayStation. There was also posters. There was also, like, the website and other stuff. And I would say as well, when you've got the scenes with Spike, they really do kind of show a new character as well, called Fifi. Now, her character is basically a purple version of Spike, and she feels a little enforced, but I get they had to throw in another love interest. I would say Rugrats in Paris is a bit mediocre, but it knows how to tell a good story. And I still agree with Cartoon Spot 111 that Rugrats the movie actually felt like a proper final. Rugrats in Paris, on the other hand, feels like there's going to be more adventures we'll see until the end of the series run. So, in my opinion, Rugrats in Paris is a hit and miss, but it's definitely enjoyable. So I think it deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.